Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Justina Fada, your trusted relationship and marriage coach. Today, I want to share with you how to resolve conflicts in a healthy way. I'll be sharing with you 10 simple tips that you can use to resolve conflict in your relationship and marriage to achieve a positive outcome. Handling conflict the right way is about fighting fair. Now, conflict should not be a deal breaker in relationship or in a marriage because conflict is a normal part of doing life and relationship with another person. Conflict in relationship is simply any kind of disagreement, struggle, or heated debate between two people in a relationship. Now, conflict does not necessarily have to become a deal breaker except where conflict becomes violent and abusive. It only becomes a deal breaker when it becomes life threatening. Now, if it is not life threatening, it should not be a deal breaker. Conflict should make us grow stronger. Conflict should make us closer. It should not divide us, it should not separate us. As a couple or as someone that is in a relationship, conflict should make you even closer and more intimate with your partner. Now, let's look at some causes of conflict. Now, one of it is hasty judgment. Most times we have conflict in our relationship because we don't pay attention and we are too quick to judge. Another cause of possible conflict could be different perspective. We all have different perspective. As a result of where we're coming from, the way we see things, we don't always have the same perspective. Now, understand that no perspective is necessarily wrong. They are just different perspectives. Selfishness is another major cause of conflict in relationship and marriage. If life is all about you, if life is all about I, me, myself, then you're certainly going to have issues. There's going to be a lot of conflicts. So either one partner is selfish or both partners are selfish will cause a lot of conflict. Gender differences is another major cause of conflict because the way women see things is totally different from the way men see things. We're totally different. But in spite of our differences, God wants us to live together. Because together we become better, together we become productive, together we become stronger, and together we are able to achieve much more and fulfill our purposes much more easier. Now, different upbringing is another cause of conflict. The way we are raised are different. Two different people coming together, certainly we have clashes in the way they are brought up. Okay? Now, another one is refusal to compromise. One of the things that makes for a successful relationship and marriage is ability and the willingness of both parties to compromise little here, little there. Where both parties refuse to compromise or one party refuses to compromise, it can become a major cause of conflict in a relationship. Another one is trauma from abusive past. Now, what we are not healed from influences the way we behave, and the influence usually comes out in a very negative way. That's why if there is any emotional baggage, any childhood trauma that you're dealing with, for you to build healthy relationship, it is required that you heal. Take time to heal. Because it can be a source of conflict because you always be reacting from a point of pain rather than from a healthy place. So it's important that you heal. Seek healing. Another one is power and control. When one partner or both partners are struggling for power and control in the relationship, is going to break the foundation of the relationship, and that will cause continuous conflict. Personality differences is another one. We know in relationship opposites attract. So this can become a major cause of conflict if not handled with wisdom. Insecurity is another possible cause of conflict. Now, the causes of conflict in relationship and marriage are innumerable. There are so many. I just outlined 10 of them for us for the purpose of this video. So there could be other ones, and there are other ones. Okay, now conflict may be a normal part of relationship, but couples must be careful about the frequency and intensity of conflict in their relationship. If it is too frequent and intensity always high, it could be a symptom of a greater underlying problem that must be addressed quickly before it gets out of hand. So how can we resolve conflict in a healthy way? How can couples resolve conflict in a healthy way? How can people in relationship resolve conflict in a healthy way? Since we must fight fair in our relationships, how do we fight without breaking the foundation of our relationships and our marriages? I just want to share with us 10 tips. Number one, acknowledge that you are not in competition with your partner. Acknowledge that you're not in competition with your spouse. Approach the issue at hand as a team. Approach the issue as a couple. It should be you together as one against this issue, not you against yourselves. Number two tip is have an open perspective to the issues at hand. In other words, your perspective should not be the only perspective. Understand that your partner's perspective may be different, but that does not mean that their perspective is wrong. Yours is not necessarily the only right way. It's just a different perspective. For example, if you put a boss on a table, and you ask 4 people to view this boss from 4 different angles, each of them is going to give you a different description of what they saw. Now, does it mean they are wrong? No. Or does it mean one person's description is wrong because they will all come up with different descriptions? No. It's just different description. None is wrong. They're just giving you the description of what they saw and how they see it. So have an open perspective. That yours is not necessarily the only right perspective. That different people have different perspectives. They have different views. They have different ways they see things. Most times the way women see things is totally different from the way men see things. So have that understanding. Number 3, acknowledge that you could have different opinions, and that is okay. That your wife may have a different opinion. Your husband may have a different opinion from yours. And that is okay. It shouldn't be a problem. Number 4, avoid the blame game. And guard your words carefully. When we are angry, we tend to say things that we're not supposed to say. But you must be cautious. You must select your words carefully. Otherwise, after you have calmed down, you would have done so much damage that I'm sorry may not be able to resolve. So guard your words. Words are powerful. This Bible tells us that the power of life and death is in our tongue. So you can kill, you can destroy, you can build by your word. So even when you are angry, discipline yourself to speak words that build rather than words that tear down. So mark God over your tongue. A lady once had disagreement with her husband in the morning when the man was getting ready to go to work. And out of anger, she told him, I'm going to deal with you. And by the time I'm done with you, you will not forget me in a hurry. The man left for work and got involved in an accident and was bedridden for over 3 months in the hospital. Guess what? When she heard and she ran to the hospital to see him, he said he does not want to see her. Why? He said she threatened me and this happened to me. And that was the end of that marriage. Pastor intervened, their bishop even intervened, nothing happened. The man's mind was made up. He said, I would rather be alone than be with a woman that wants to kill me. She said she never meant it. It was just an angry outburst. Yes, it could be true that she never really meant it. But Satan capitalized on her words and wanted to use it to take away the life of the man. So we must be careful. When you speak words, there are all kinds of spirits in the atmosphere. You may not mean it, but they may take that word and use it to bring out a destructive outcome. So be careful and guard your words jealously. Number 5 tip, pray about the prevailing issues before discussion. Take our time to pray. When you pray, God will guide you. He will lead you. He will direct you to know when to address the issue, how to address the issue. Sometimes He may say, don't address it. He may say, just leave it. Just let it go. So prayer is very important. Number 6, listen carefully to what is being said before giving a response. Sometimes we are too hasty in our response. We don't listen and we just react. Now, when you take our time to listen carefully, you'll be able to give a better response. So don't be hasty in responding. Don't be hasty to react. Take our time, calm down. No, listen to what is being said. Digest it. Then think of a more appropriate way to respond so that the outcome is good. Number 7, use I statement instead of you statement. Don't say you. When you use you, you are always behaving this way. You are so sloppy. When you use you statement, you are attacking the person, and that will activate their fight mode. They want to fight back. But when you say I, this is the way I felt about this thing. I think we should do this thing. Maybe we should adopt another approach. That one, your statement will make them to want to look for a solution. But when you say you, they want to fight back. That's why that takes us back to the first one, where we said it should not be about competition. You're not in competition with your spouse. Okay, so don't attack the person. Number 8, be flexible. Make compromises and be tolerant. Don't be rigid. Your way is not the only way. Be flexible. Both parties must be flexible. You must give up some control. Number 9, learn to overlook some things. Don't take everything too seriously. Sometimes people may be transferring aggression to you, not necessarily because you have done something really bad. So learn to overlook some things. Because, he's having a bad day. She's having a bad day. Overlook it. Number 10, learn to forgive generously. Without forgiveness, relationships cannot thrive. We are human beings who offend each other, who hurt each other because we have weaknesses. We are not just embodiment of strength. We also have weaknesses. So learn to forgive. Be generous with it. Until you master the art of forgiveness, you cannot have thriving relationship. You cannot build healthy relationship. Lastly, I want to say, see a professional counselor if both of you cannot resolve conflicts amicably. Don't wait till the relationship totally breaks down. Book an appointment with a therapist or a professional counselor. Don't fight to win the argument. Fight to win the agreement. Your marriage will succeed. Your relationship will succeed. If you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel. I am here to help you build the relationship and marriage of your dream. Drop your comment down in the comment section. Share your thoughts. Turn on the bell notification so you'll be the first to see our videos as soon as we upload new ones. God bless you. Have a great marriage and relationship.